Well, hello there. This is video 9 in our series, Losing Weight on the Carnivore Diet. In today's video, we're talking about those weight loss plateaus. You know, those times when you've been losing weight and suddenly it slows right down, or it even stops, or even worse than that, you start to put weight on again. If you follow many of the carnivore groups on Facebook, you will see a post that reads something like this fairly often. I have started the carnivore diet. I am 8 days in. I am struggling. I'm having problems. And to make matters worse, I am not losing any weight. You know, when that happens, it's so demoralizing and you feel like there must be something wrong with you, that everybody else seems to be getting it right, but it's just not working for you. Maybe you've been listening to people tell their stories, and so many people tell exciting stories where they lost hundreds of pounds in a very short time and it all seemed very miraculous, and it just hasn't been your experience. Or maybe you see those before and after pictures and you think, oh, wow, I wish, but it just never seems to happen for you. You know, things like that can make you feel a total abject failure, as if you're doing something wrong. It must be that you can only blame yourself that you're not losing weight. You know, most people start the carnivore diet with that single goal in mind, to lose weight. And that was my motivation for making this series, specifically looking at weight loss on the carnivore diet. But the carnivore diet is about far more than just weight loss. It's about the totality of your health and well-being, not just physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. When you begin the carnivore diet, list some health goals and some emotional goals and some relational goals also. Make it holistic. Make it a challenge to bring transformation to your whole life. In one of my earlier videos in this series, when I was talking about the scale in the bathroom, and on that video I suggested 5 other things that would be much better to measure than your weight. So maybe if you're struggling in this area, go back and have a look at those five things and build those 5 measures into your carnivore diet as well. But let's get back to our original question. Why is it that we plateau on the carnivore diet? This would also be my experience on the carnivore diet. I've been on carnivore about 8 months now, and I've lost about 47, 48 pounds thereabouts over that time. Now, in the first couple of weeks, I lost nothing. I even put on a pound or 2, and then weight loss was very slow. I found that some weeks I lost quite a bit of weight, and other weeks I seemed to lose nothing at all. And I even had weeks where I put on a pound or 2. And it's very confusing as to what's happening when you're only looking at the scale each day. So I just want to quickly cover 3 major factors that often affect the speed of our weight loss and the plateaus that we encounter. Now, these may not all apply to you, but as I work through them, you might identify something that you think, aha, that could be my issue. So stay with me as I work through these 3 fundamental issues of losing weight on carnivore. The first thing I would suggest, that when you actually start carnivore, and if you haven't done it already, go to your doctor and get a complete set of blood work done. This is valuable in so many ways because it's going to tell you all of your hormone levels and your electrolyte levels. When I go back to get the results of my blood test, I always ask the doctor, can she print out a copy for me to take home with me? I like to be able to take it home because I want to study it for myself. And I think this is one of the most valuable things you can do on carnivore, is to get your blood test copy and to get on the computer, and anything on there that you're not quite sure what it is or what it means, Google it and find out. Educate yourself on the different aspects of a blood panel, and it will help you enormously. Weight loss is far more about hormones than what it is about calories. So you want to check your hormones, and they're going to be on your blood panel. Also, electrolytes can affect weight loss. Things like sodium and potassium and magnesium. So now let's get into these 3 fundamental issues that I was talking about a moment ago. The first one to talk about is consistency. I would really encourage you, when you start carnivore, not to play around with, can I add this or that, but simply to do carnivore, straight carnivore, for at least 3 months. The reason I say that is that carnivore is the ultimate elimination diet, and it's going to teach you so much about your body and your health, and if you have any allergies or if you've been reacting to something, and how different things affect you. But if you're starting to add in extras right from the start, you're going to severely limit the benefit of that elimination aspect of carnivore. So stay consistent, especially in these first 3 months. Don't play around and say, well, look, I'll be carnivore during the week and on weekends I might have a cheat day. It's just not going to work. The cheat day will do too much damage. You might say, well, I'm going to do carnivore, but I'm going to have lots of dairy and I'm going to have lots of fruit and I'm going to have this and I'm going to have that. It won't work. Stay true carnivore. We have to say that over and over again. Don't have a cheat day. Don't mix in extras, especially in these first 3 months. When you get to the 3-month mark and you've done well, you've lost the weight that you want to lose, then you can experiment with adding different things in. But I would recommend that in these early days, you stay true carnivore and don't add any extras in and see what happens. You will be so glad you did. The second major issue that affects many people is either overeating or undereating. This might surprise you when I add in there undereating, but this is also a factor. We tell people all the time that on carnivore you don't have to count calories and you don't have to measure portion sizes and you can eat as much as you want. But all of that has to be balanced with what's reasonable. Obviously, if you overeat, if you eat far more than your body needs, then it's going to be difficult to lose any weight. And in fact, you may well put weight on. So don't overeat. Eat until you are comfortably full and then stop. You also might find if you've been on carnivore a while and you've lost quite a bit of weight, but you've still got more to lose, is that as you lose weight, your body needs less food. So if you keep eating what you were eating at the start of carnivore, it could cause a plateau or even a weight gain, and you don't want that. The other problem is when people go the other way and they undereat. They eat less than what they need. This is so easy to do on carnivore because you've cut out all the other things from your diet and you were eating meat as one part of your meal for many, many years, probably the whole of your life, and you suddenly meat is the whole dish and not just part of it. And so the tendency is to not eat enough. If you watch the very first video in this series, where I talked about calories in and calories out and why it doesn't work, one of the things we had to make clear there is that those two things are not independent of each other. That's what the calories in, calories out approach always assumes, that if your body is in calorie deficit, that you're going to lose weight. But that is not always the case because the two things are vitally connected. They're not independent of each other. If you reduce your calories, then your body is going to spend less calories, a bit like balancing a budget. I talked a lot more about this in video 1 in this series, so you can go back and watch that again if you need to. But the bottom line here is that if you undereat and you are in that situation where you're just not getting enough calories, the body could kind of go into starvation mode and protect itself, and you finish up not losing weight, in fact, even putting weight on, even though you're eating less. So make sure you're eating about right for you. Now, you have to work that out. Listen to your body, know when you're comfortably full. When I've got a plate of food now on carnivore, I can tell you on the exact mouthful when I've had enough. I just get that signal from my body, hey, that's enough, I am comfortably full. And I will stop eating even if there's more food on my plate to eat because I know I've had enough. And you've got to learn to listen to your body, eat until you are comfortably full. Don't overeat and don't undereat, but try to eat exactly what your body is telling you it needs. The third fundamental that I'd want to look at here is that there could be aspects that are totally unrelated to your diet, what you're actually eating, that are affecting your weight all the same. Let me try and explain what I mean there because that was quite a mouthful. It means that there's things that could be happening in your life that are affecting your weight loss that are quite separate to the food that you are eating. You might need to look at your sleep patterns. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting regular sleep? Is your bedroom quiet and dark and free from phones and other distractions? Are you getting quality sleep? You know, quality sleep is going to make a huge difference in so many areas, including weight loss. Another question there would be, How much stress is in your life right now? Have you got any mechanism to reduce stress in your life? Things like meditation or mindfulness or just breathing exercises, things that you can do to reduce stress. Get out in nature and enjoy the fresh air. Things that make you feel better physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's the final question there. Are you getting outside? Are you getting fresh air? Are you going for a walk? Are you getting some exercise every day? Because that's so important. And if you're not doing that, it's going to restrict and make it more difficult to lose weight. So there's a few things to look at. Let me just recap quickly. Are you consistent on the carnivore diet? You're not cheating. You're not adding in anything that's going to mess up your weight loss. Are you overeating or undereating, and that's messing up your weight loss? Are you stressed? Are you overtired because you're not getting enough sleep? Are you not getting enough exercise? Is your blood work right? Are your hormone levels good? Are your electrolytes all where they should be? These are all things to look at. So you've got a few things there to work through to see if you can find why you are not losing weight or you have plateaued on the carnivore diet. Again, I would remind you simply of my own story. I did lose quite a bit of weight on the carnivore diet. It took time, so be patient. And I did have an inconsistent pattern of weight loss. If I was to show you a graph, it would be up and down all over the place. But overall, on the bigger picture, it did come down and I did lose quite a bit of weight. So that would be my last tip, if you like, to stay patient. Don't beat yourself up. Hang in there. Be true to the carnivore, be true to the decision that you've made. This is about the totality of your health and not just weight loss. You can do this. So most importantly of all, don't quit. Hang in there. Let us know in the comments how you're going. I would love to hear from you. But I want to say thank you for watching today. Please join our Facebook group, the Carnivore Pensioner. I hope you found this helpful today in some way and that you might consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. I will see you on number 10, the final video in this series, but until then, keep telling your story.